Hello everyone, this is Gail from Gail's Upstairs Studio. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to swatch out the colors that I have put in my new Compuzzle palette that I showed you in last week's art haul video. There's my ring light. It's very shiny. We're going to open it and keep it open so it doesn't keep glaring. And at the same time, we're going to test out this new sketchbook. This is the Eternity 90 sketchbook with 100% cotton watercolor paper in it. And it's just a soft cover. And last week's video, I mentioned that I wasn't sure if this was 90 or 120 pounds. It's in the name. It's 90 pound, but it's still thick enough. So I am going to kind of put it through its paces with some water, I think, today. But first off, I'm going to turn to the back where I've made a little swatch page for my colors. I still have one little square that I haven't put anything in yet, so I've left that blank here too. And I wanted to show you, while we were at it, a neat little tool made by a very dear friend of mine. This is a swatch grid stencil, and she cut it out of an old Cricut mat. And it works wonderful. And it's rigid enough that it actually really does work like a stencil. So I want to thank her very much. And she's always making really cool little things like this. And what I did to make these squares is I didn't really need the great big rectangle, so I turned it this way, and then I laid it down and just brought the lines half down, and then when I was done I just put it across this way and filled in the line across. So thank you to my friend, you know who you are. Works wonderful. All right, let's get started. I am just using a Aqua Elite number 6 brush, and I have a little mixing tray here over to the side because where this is brand new, I don't want to get my little mixing trays dirty yet. So I have them in here in a little strange order because there were certain ones that I wanted in the larger pans. So I'm not swatching it in the order that I normally would, but I'm swatching it here the way it is in here. So, all right. I'm using the back page of this sketchbook, and it is, in this particular case, I believe this is the front side of the paper. I'm not sure though. Okay. We are starting out with Hooker's Green from My Merry Blue. And this is a landscape palette, and so these colors are for that purpose. And this color is wonderful for trees, especially in the background, because they'd be more muted and a lighter wash usually. And I'm going to lighten up this wash so we can see what it looks like diluted. So that is our Hooker's Green from My Merry Blue. You see how it looks. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, I guess you can. In its diluted form, how it's a very muted light color, and that's great for background trees. Next, I have M. Graham's Azo Green, and you will see this is a completely different green. Lends more toward yellow, but it definitely is green, but it's got a lot of yellow showing in it. That's very good for mixing for different greens, but also for certain grasses and things as well. And next we have Dragon's Blood from My Merry Blue. I got my Merry Blue paints in a set. I want to say it was 5 or 6 tubes of paint, and it was curated by Steve Mitchell, whom also did a set for M-Gram years ago that I also bought when it came out. And I really wasn't sure if I'd like My Merry Blue, but the colors he chose, I really do like. There's a, oh, where is it? A Phthalo Turquoise from My Merry Blue and that I've got in this palette that I just love. Next is Burnt Umber by Daniel Smith. And this is just a great landscape color. It's not the darkest brown in the world. And I do have a Van Dyke brown from Mission Gold that I could have used in here, but I have a neutral tint in this palette, and if I want to darken this anymore, all I need to do is add the neutral tint. So we went with this. Ultramarine Blue by M-Gram. I have a little bit of a hot take on this. Everybody loves ultramarine. Most watercolorists find it very useful for skies and things. And when I first started using ultramarine blue, I didn't care for it. When I first started watercolors, I didn't care for it. And I still don't use it by itself, but it mixes well. And because it has a little bit of a granulating factor, it is good for certain things. And next is Buff Titanium, or actually, no, I have Titan Buff from Da Vinci that I use. I do have a Daniel Smith Buff Titanium in the pigment sticks, but not in tube form. I have a great big tube of the Da Vinci Titan Buff, and I really like it. So that is that. Next we have Perylene Red from Da Vinci, which is also one of my favorites. I have a hard time finding a red I like, because I've done a lot of florals, is kind of what I do most of, and I've only just recently been doing more landscape type things, and a red was hard to find, but I like this one. And it's in this palette in case I need a red. Now it's not very many times I guess you would need a red in a landscape palette, but you never know. If I'm doing a building or something, I might want it. Next is Quin Magenta by My Merry Blue. Stand by. I want to check to make sure that's My Merry Blue. I'll be right back. It is My Merry Blue, but it is Quin Lake. So, and I like this color a lot. Need a little bit more water. This actually is pretty good in skies in the right circumstances. But I love it in florals. I use it for florals a lot. And next is Benzimida Orange by Da Vinci. Next is Yellow Ochre by My Mary Blue. This is a nice yellow ochre. And next is Azo Yellow by M. Graham. That is a really nice mixing color for brights. And next, this is Terre Verte from Winsor & Newton, and it is not a strong tint. It's quite a weak tint, though I don't really like the word weak because it has uses, and I really love the color of it. That and the next one both are what they would call a weak tinting strength, but I really like it, especially in landscapes. Far off landscapes too. Having a hard time getting it to show too much, but that is a very nice color. And the next one is a new one from Winsor & Newton. It's called Ultramarine Ash. There we go. Okay. It's very pale, obviously, but it's got a really nice, well, it's kind of in the name, like an ashy or a dusty blue look to it. And I just really love the color for parts of skies, things like that. I really do like that. The next one is one I've mentioned. This is Phthalo Turquoise from My Mary Blue, and I love this color. And it dilutes down to a very pretty color too. Next is Indigo, also by My Mary Blue. Indigo is actually one of my favorite paint colors, because navy blue is my favorite color. It's my favorite color to wear, anything like that. So indigo kind of translates that to paint to me. Dioxazine Purple from M. Graham. This is a very strong color, and it can be a bully. It takes over if you're mixing it with other colors. It can take over really easy, but it is a good mix if you can be very conscious of the fact that it can take over. And this one is still empty, and then we have Neutral Tint from M. Graham. So I have a few of several things in here. Oh, making a mess again. That's okay, because this is just for reference. It's my neutral tint. So I have some My Mary Blue, some M. Graham, some Daniel Smith, I think one. Is it just one Daniel Smith? Yeah, one Daniel Smith, Winsor & Newton, and Da Vinci in this little tiny palette. Once again, I will show it to you. I just love this palette. Okay. And you know something? I didn't really pay too close attention to the paper. It buckled a little on the back. That'll change when it dries. That's part of the fact that it's 90 pound and not 140 pound. But I like it. It does have a texture to it, but it's like a machine texture. But I think it performs pretty well, but we're going to put it to a little more of a test. Hang on. I have done a light sketch in the beginning of this book. Not the front page, but the next page. And I sketched it with a cool gray Graphitint pencil. And I like using Graphitint when I'm sketching and if I'm going to paint something, because it is water soluble, so it will blend right in with the watercolor. You won't see the lines, so I really like that. I'm hoping you can see it on camera. It's just a very loose sketch, and now I'm going to tape this off and we'll get to painting. Alrighty, we're back and ready. I'm going to have a drink of tea, and I'm going to have this time lapsed so we can just enjoy painting. This is just a little seaside scape, and I don't know how it's going to come out, so we'll see. Okay, now this painting isn't finished, and I'm not happy with my rocks, but I just did a quick job of it. I think it took me, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, and I just wanted to kind of prove a concept. I wanted to see how well it took water, how well it took the tape. I used washi tape on purpose because where it was only 90 pound and it feels a little soft, it's not like a really rough surface. I wanted to make sure that the tape would pull, so I used a low tack tape. It stayed well, but pulled well without pulling any paper at all, so I was very happy with that. And I was happy with the way it did the washes. I kind of messed up my horizon line there because it bled into my sky. But, and I like the colors. But the book I'm very happy with. There's very little buckling. It's still a little damp, so it's going to be a little buckly, but you can tell that it's not much, and it will flatten out as it dries. So I'm pleased with that. I think that's going to do well for the purposes that I want, and I probably will order another couple. If I didn't say it earlier in the video, this is from Jerry's Artorama, and it is their New York Central line, and it's called Eternity 90. They've got all kinds of different sizes. They're all, I think they're all 10 pages, or 10 sheets, which is 20 pages. So I think they'd be great for like field work or plein air because they're simple. There's not a lot of fuss to them. They're very inexpensive. So, or they were when I bought them. So, this was when I bought it. So, like I said, not my best work. Wasn't really trying for it. I don't do a lot of landscapes, and that's something I'm trying to do more of. So, I've got a lot to learn and a lot of painting to do before I get what I would consider anywhere near good. But this showed the paper off pretty darn well. And love my new palette. I think the colors are great. Still haven't decided what I'm putting in this one yet. So I guess that is it for now. I will be coming back soon. I'm not sure if it will be next week or the week after, to be honest. I have some things I have to attend to next weekend, and it takes some prep work this week in order to do that. I will get more into that in the next video. But until then, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.